Welcome back to Dropout Trades, everybody. In today's video, we're going to be going over options trading tips number 2. What we're going to be going over is how to pick the right risk to reward ratio. Now, I find this very, very important in your trading because this can save your trading account and your trades as long as you have a good risk to reward ratio. So let's get into it. All right, how to pick the right risk to reward ratio. So in the beginning of my trading, when I first, just wanted to trade, I didn't know anything about it. I always heard this risk to reward ratio, risk to reward ratio. You have to make sure your risk to reward ratio is good. You have to make sure you have proper risk to reward and risk management. And I didn't understand what any of that meant. I just didn't understand it, and I tried to figure it out. And I always heard you should have 1 to 2, 1 to 3, and I didn't even know what that meant. I was just like, what is 1 to 2? What is 1 to 3? So first of all, if you don't know, I'm going to break that down for you real quick, just so you have a better understanding, okay? So let's say, for example, you have a $10,000 trade. So right now you bought $10,000 worth of either options or stock for your trade, and your risk to reward ratio is 1 to 1, which you shouldn't have, but just as an example. And you're risking $500 on this trade. So if you're risking $500 to this trade and your risk to reward ratio is 1 to 1, then that means that you're either going to lose 500 or you're either going to make 500 on this trade. Okay? So either when you lose 500, that's it, that's your stop loss, you're out, or when you make 500, that's it, you're out. Now, a 1 to 2, you're probably already getting the hang of this, is you're losing 500 on this trade, that's the most you'll lose, and where you want the profit to be is going to be at 1,000 because it's 1 to 2. Okay, 1 to 3, you lose 500, that's the most you'll lose, and 1,500 is what you're shooting for the profit. That's 1 to 3. Okay, now what do I think is a good risk to reward ratio? Anything above 1 to 1. So 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5. Now 1 to 4 and 1 to 5 is not the easiest. Sometimes 1 to 3 is not as well. What I shoot for in my trades is between 1 to 4 and 1 to 5. Sometimes I even get 1 to 6, 1 to 7, but that's not likely every day. But between 1 to 3, 1 to 1 to 5 is what I usually get on the daily when I do start trading. To make things easier, I drew this for you. I'm trying to make this as simple and very easy to understand as possible. So 1 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Let's say trade number 1, you lost 500. Trade number 2, lose 500. Trade number 3, lose 500. Trade number 4, you lose 500. Trade number 5, you lose 500. And trade number 6, you lose 500. Trade number 7, you win 500. Trade number 8, you win 500. Trade number 9, you win 500, and trade number 10, you win 500. So that means that you lost 6 trades out of 10. So you lost more than you won, and then you only won 4 trades. So now total losses is 3,000, total wins is 2,000. So that leaves you with $1,000 under. So 1 to 1 risk to reward ratio, unless you're winning most of your trades, then you're going to end up like this. Take a look over here at 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. Look at how things change. Again, you lost 500 on trade 1, lost 500 on trade 2, number 3, number 4, and number 6. And then you won 4 trades, but your risk to reward ratio is 1 to 2. So now you won 1,000 on each trade, but you lost 6 trades that are only 500. So you lost 3,000 again, but your total wins are 4,000. So now you're a profitable trader just by changing that, okay? And that makes a huge difference. You can lose more trades than you win, but your risk to reward ratio has to be better. It gets fun. 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. So you already get the point of this. 6 losing trades, 4 winning trades, total losses 3,000 again with $500 losses, and times 3 the win, so $1,500. So total win 6,000, total losses 3,000. You come out net profit of 3,000. That's when you start making some real profits, okay? Now imagine if you're able to win a little bit more of your trades. So you're able to win 5 of your trades. Now you just added $2,000, so now it's 5,000 if you're 5 to 5. And if it's 6 to 4, then it's a whole different story, but you get the point of this. Keep your risk to reward ratio and always follow your trading rules. Now you want to keep your losses small. That's very, very important. I'm telling you, that's literally what's going to change you from being non-profitable to profitable. Okay? And I used to always overlook this and say, I used to trade with hope. And hope just doesn't make it in this market. It is what it is, whether you like it or not. Okay? If your losses are going to be bigger than what you're winning, you're never going to be profitable. You have to trade with a system, and that's why it's very important to keep that risk to reward ratio. Okay, for every trade that you take, you should have your risk to reward ratio planned out before. This is my max loss, and this is how much I'm going to get out with. Don't get greedy. If you see it on there, if you want to stay in the trade, that's fine. Stay in the trade. Leave one runner. If you got in with like 10 contracts or 5 contracts, leave one. If you didn't, get out. Build your base. Build your base. Okay, once you build your base, you start getting better and more confident and understanding these markets better, that's when you can start, for example, if its trade is running up and you don't think it's over yet, you can keep like a stop loss right behind it at all times. So worst case, you're not going to go into minus, after you're already in profit. So that's that for risk to reward ratio. If you have any additional questions about this topic or anything in this video, let me know down in the comments. I know a lot of you asked me on here and also on Instagram to make a video on how I draw my support and resistance lines. I promise I'm going to make that video and explain it better for you guys. I'm just on vacation currently, so I do want to make that video good and in depth for you. So I will be back next Thursday and I'll be able to make a better video, more in depth and more focused on how I draw my support and resistance lines, so you guys can do it as well. So stick around for that. I will do it next week when I come back to my home and to my office. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button and the like button. See you guys in the next one.